evolution of sound.
Beep beep, what's up ninjas? My name is Samuel, and today I hope to get you in the right direction of layering properly. Now, why would people want to layer is the first question we need to ask ourselves. And the reason for layering is because you're going to have a set of sounds that are going to be good at certain things, but not so good at other things. And that's where you want to layer sounds that are going to complement each other to make one main sound. So you're going to have these little side sounds, let's say, that make up the one main sound that you're going to look as one sound together eventually. Now, layering is something that it's really easy to do, but it's hard for beginners and intermediates if you haven't been producing for a while. So what we're going to do in this example is use a new Soundbank released by Evolution of Sound called Progressive Solutions that it's going to allow you to do this a lot faster, so you don't have to worry what kind of sounds to pick. They do the job for you, but we're going to be utilizing it just to give the example. So right now we have this first lead. Let's say you're browsing through your presets and you find this one lead. You think it's a good lead, but you know it kind of sounds weak and it doesn't sound like the professional leads that you hear in tracks. So this is where layering comes into play. Now, the first thing you want to note when you first pick your first lead is whether, what frequency it's taking up or whether it's in stereo or in mono. Now, does it take up more of the sides of the mix or the center of the mix? Now, if you guys don't know what that means, here's a little example. This lead is in stereo. Now, we're going to put this lead in mono and you're going to hear it in mono now. If you notice the difference, you're going to hear it in stereo more to the sides of your headphones or your monitors, and you're going to hear, in mono more in the center of the mix, more in the center of the headphones and more in the center of the monitors. So once we figure out what sound that is, we want to pick another sound that's going to cover the center of the mix. You might ask yourself, why do we even need to do that? Well, when you play a song through an iPhone or when you play a song through the club speakers at your favorite club, what tends to happen is those systems are ran in mono. So you're not going to have any stereo information. And if all your leads are in stereo, it's going to translate badly into mono. One, you will hear the leads, but they're not going to be as powerful. Or two, you won't even hear the leads at all. So that's why it's important to have a mono. Now, what we're going to do is just duplicate this channel and go with Can't Go Down number 2, which is going to be our mono signal, which sounds like this. If you notice, it's more in the center of the mix and it has a more driving feel. Those are usually the kind of lead you want in the center of your layer for your main sound because they're going to be driving that lead forward. Now, if I play these together, you're going to notice that they both complement each other. If I take one away, sounds lame. If I take this away, sounds thin. So with this together, sounds a little bit more fuller. Now, the last thing we need here is going to be another sound. Now, the cool thing about this Soundbank is the fact that, you don't need to go guessing what sounds to put together. It does it all for you. So eventually you can just go into your favorite Soundbanks and know, okay, I know these type of sounds work well together. Hopefully this tutorial allows you to do that without even purchasing the Soundbank. That is my goal. So now what we're going to do here is we have this new lead that's going to sound like this. Notice how it has a whole different feel to it. It doesn't sound similar to these guys. But now when we play it together, it adds a new dimension to it, which is going to be that mystical reverb sound. And that's what you want out of your layers. You want layers that complement each other. Now, you overlayer because you take off a layer and it doesn't change the sound at all. So pretty much here, if I add another layer, let's say I add this one again, Can't Go Down number 3 and play it. And then I take it off. If you notice, the only thing that changed was the change in volume. And let's say you want to do that again, you just increase the volume here. And it's the same exact effect as we got with having two of the same leads. Now, the first problem that a lot of producers make is the fact that they layer the same damn lead over and over and over again. So let's say this lead here, you just say, oh, I'm going to duplicate it 3 times because it sounds fatter. And then you play it together, and that is a big no-no. Now, why is that a big no-no? Well, this is the best way to explain it. Imagine you have like two leads that want to take the center spotlight. They're fighting each other to get there because they both cover the same frequency range. They sound the same and they're in the same place in the stereo field. Well, what happens is they try and fight each other and eventually one does win. But what happens is this guy cancels out the other lead. But at the same time, that lead isn't going to go without a fight. So he cancels this one, the main one taking the spotlight. And now it sounds kind of weaker than it would have sounded if it was just by itself. You could have just increased the volume on that lead. Why is that? Well, there's a thing called phase cancellation. And what tends to happen is whenever you have a sound in the same frequency and another sound in the same frequency, and they both play at the same time, and they're both powerful in that frequency, they're going to cancel each other out and you get phase problems that way. So in order to avoid that, do not layer the same damn lead over, or leads that sound very similar, over and over again. Everyone is going to have a different number of layers for their leads. I'm not saying that you're always going to have 3 layers only. I'm just saying that if you need to use 6, just make sure you're doing it the right way. Now, the other thing we can also do is layer plucks with our leads, because plucks are going to have a huge different feeling. They're only going to play at the initial hit, but they also give kind of like, you can see there kind of more atmosphere to it. So you can always try that as well. Now, just to recap this video, remember guys, you want to cover the stereo field with your lead. You want to cover the right frequencies. You don't want to pick sounds that sound exactly the same, because then you get phase cancellation. With all that being said, that's how you pick the right sounds to layer properly. If you guys want to watch a video on how to layer properly with the processing included with EQs and compressors, I have a video called how to layer leads properly that includes all of that. I'll leave it in the description, or sorry, in the recommended, and you guys can watch it. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to support the channel, as always, the Soundbank is available for you guys making progressive house. Take care and have an amazing day. Peace out. Everybody in the